Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna. If you are new, I am the founder of I Love Plant Life Plant Shop, which is an online plant shop based in Chicago. So if you ever are in any need for houseplants, or if you ever need anything such as essentials that we're going to be talking about today, then this is the video for you, because today we will be discussing the top 10 houseplant essentials. Bleh. Houseplant essentials. Houseplant essentials. We need to do that again. Today, we will be discussing the top 10 houseplant essentials that you need to keep your plants thriving all year round. These have helped me along my journey. I started my plant journey in 2018, maybe a little bit before that, but I will say 2018 is a solid year to say that. And I have gone through so much trial and error of learning what to do and what not to do. And again, this is just to help you, because I think that every person who has plants, they just do things differently. And so whatever works for you, I want you to continue to do that, and also to share in the comments of what you do also that help you out in your household, and maybe you can help someone else within the community. So that is the whole point of this video. I am not saying that you have to get these things, but I think that it's just helpful for me to share what has worked for me, so we can all learn together, because no one goes into this knowing all the information about houseplants. That's not how this works. And I think that's why I love plants so much, because they teach me so many lessons, not just about nature and plants itself. I think it just teaches me a lot of patience. It teaches me how to kind of reroute things when things aren't going the way that I think that they should be going. And so I hope that this video kind of helps you and guides you with your journey. And I think we should get started. Also, the top 10, it's not in a specific order, so it's not like top 10 to number 1. No, I didn't list it that way, so I didn't want to confuse anyone with this list. So if you see me kind of reading off to the side, I'm sorry, it's my computer, so I have these kind of listed in a certain order, so I can stay on track. So let's get started. The first one that I think it just came to mind, and maybe because I have so many hanging plants in my home, I love anything that's trailing. I am a trailing girly to my core. I love just anything that can cascade. So the first thing is plant clips, or our plant clips. Why can I not speak today? Normally I do really well with speaking, so I don't know what's happening today. Maybe I need some coffee. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Anywho, plant clips. I think these are so good to have, especially when you have anything, not just trailing, also anything that kind of grows upwards, like your plants that like to kind of grow upwards and out. If you want to contain those plants, I think it is very important to get something like plant clips, where you can clip it to something that has either been placed inside the soil, like a moss pole, where you can also I know there are also spikes that I like to use. I love bamboo spikes as well, which are great because they are sustainable, and sometimes with plastic or also certain types of wood, it can decompose and cause other pests and critters. So I stick to what I know, which are bamboo, which is like one of my favorites. And then also, I have seen with 3M, they have these really cool clear clips that you can put onto the wall so you don't mess up your walls or paint, wallpaper, whatever you have on your wall. So I think those are really good to have. So that is coming in at number 1. Let me know what clips you all like to use, because I see so many videos of different ones and I'm like, oh my God, that is so cool. I think it's so cute. So please let me know what you all like to use for your plants and keeping them contained, especially for those plants that really like to grow wild. I think that's super, super important. So number 2 on the list is, I also have a list in front of me as well. Hello, Chappie. Chappie would like to say hi because he is being so needy, but he's my sweet boy, my sweet little weenie. I don't know if you could see him. Hi. Okay, I am working. Thank you. I've only made it to number 1. We got a long way to go. Coming in at number 2, we have the repotting mat, which is waterproof, and this is such a good essential to have, because let me be very honest with you, when I first started my journey, I would go to the dollar store and I would get those tablecloths, the plastic ones, and I would just lay it out in my kitchen floor on the hardwood floors, because I didn't want to mess up the floor. Also, I didn't want to have to clean up little grains of dirt out of the hardwood crevices. So yes, I went to the dollar store and got one of those like well, it's not even reusable. They're really those disposable table linens, and I lay it out, turn on some music, light an incense, just totally vibe out, because it was like my time for myself and my plants and just that connection to nature, and I loved it so much. But instead of doing that, they now have waterproof mats that you can use. I have found, some people do sit down on the ground with them, which is great, and a lot of people I see use them standing up. So just keep that in mind, depending on how you like to take care of your plants when you're doing your maintenance care with them. I find that if you are using the one that you're sitting on the ground with, make sure you get a really large one. I feel like when you're standing up, you can use the medium-sized mats. They're easier to contain, easier to kind of like not make so much of a mess. But if you're sitting down and like on the floor, I think you just need a larger workspace. So keep that in mind. But these are super great. I love these so much. They are on my website, actually, along with the plant clips. I meant to tell you that I have the links for everything below. So if you are looking for these items, they are easily accessible for you. Okay, coming in at number 3, propagation systems. So a lot of people like to reuse wine glasses. They like to reuse jars, mason jars, bottles, liquor bottles, you name it. There are so many ways to propagate, and I highly suggest reusing items, because I think it is so important to maintain sustainability. But if you are unable to find them, there are some super cute ones that exist, and I love, love, love these here. These are so cute. I have one in all of my bathrooms in the house, and I just stick little pothos inside, and they don't really need much sunlight. It's perfect. They're really great. But then they also have these cute ones here that I have on my website, and I just thought these were so adorable, really creative if you're into stuff like that. Just something like that could be a statement piece in your home that people talk about. So these are perfect. You always want to make sure that you have something that's like clear enough that the sun can penetrate through, so those roots can get the light that's necessary for it to grow in water. But yes, these are my absolute favorites. Not all of mine. Most of my plants in the house are in water. I love it. I've always used it. Used propagation tools, and it just has worked for me. Using dark colored vases, however you want to say it, or anything like a dark wine glass bottle isn't going to be the best option for propagating. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you do have, you just want to make sure that light can penetrate whatever surface is on the outside. The color mostly is important. So I love seeing all the different propagation tools that everyone has. If you have something creative that you like to use, please, please, please comment below. I would love to know some of the quirky things that you all like to use when propagating some of your plants. Number 4, we are moving through this list pretty quickly. I didn't know if this was going to be like a 20-minute video or 30-minute video, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go with the flow. So I am kind of like rambling sometimes, so please forgive me. Just please forgive me. Humidifiers. So this is so important. Your plants need moisture. Now, some plants need less moisture and more moisture than others, so not all are the same, and I understand that, but you do need some level of humidity in your home for your plants. If not, they will not really sustain very well, and they may end up dying. So I know at the beginning of my plant journey, I had no idea that the moisture levels within my home, or like me turning on the heat all the time, because I had just moved to Chicago, so during the winter it gets super cold here, and I had the heat on full blast, which was not the best thing for my plants. So it was a lot of trial and error my first year living here, and also with radiators, and which I had never had a home with a radiator before, but in your true classic Chicago homes, like it's a thing. And so I learned that you could not just put a radiator cover over and then put your plants on top. But yeah, you live and you learn. Just making sure that they're away from certain spaces where there's either too much sunlight. I've killed a string of bananas, which doesn't need direct sunlight at all, by putting things in the window without any moisture. Like it's all a lesson learned. So with that, making sure that there is humidity, I have, and I'm going to show you here, this is the humidifier that I placed in my home, and it is wonderful. It's I actually used to have this when I kept plants on site where I shipped them myself when I first started selling plants. This one was maybe $120 on Amazon. If I can find the exact link for it, I will link it below for you all so you can see it. But it's great. There are so many settings on it, and I can probably just kind of insert a clip of that. Here is a video of what my humidifier looks like for my office, and here are all of the settings that this particular model and brand has. So just so you can kind of see, this is P3. This is like the most that comes out when I do touch. Let's see if you can all see how much comes out. And I love that there's also a feature for like how many hours you want this to go on, and then there's another feature, sorry, I'm like bent down, for the level of humidity. You can change it. It has like different settings for the room, and it's so good for a space especially that's very large. So this one is the more industrial humidifier, so it's perfect to have in any case of having any type of plants, because you want to make sure that they stay with a lot of moisture so they can grow to its full potential. Next, we have pesticides. So we all know that these pests love our plants. They love munching on our leaves. They love munching on our plants stems. They're there. They love to dig into the soil and lay eggs. It is a nightmare if you do get pests, but there are some natural remedies that are available to use in your home where you're not using anything too harsh for your pesticides, especially if you have children or if you have pets. So there are a couple of things that I use in my natural pesticide that I think have been so helpful for me along my journey, and I wish I would have known about it sooner, because trust me, I would have been using it since day one. I do want to discuss having new plants, because I think sometimes, and it's not the main cause or the main issue, but having new plants in your home sometimes can bring pests. So you have to isolate them and watch them for at least, I watch my new plants and I sit them on a totally different windowsill in the house where it's not near any of my other plants for like a month. And I'm just watching it and checking underneath the leaves, in the soil, on top, and the little crevices of the leaf, because that's sometimes where they like to hide. So yes, isolation is key for new plants that you bring into your home, because that can destroy your entire collection if you do put them next to all of your other plants. So keep that in mind. But back to what I like to use for my natural remedy for pesticides, and it's my number one go-to. There could be a lot of controversy for neem oil. I know a lot of people hate the smell of it, and then some people think that it's not, like the oil itself is not good for plants' leaves. For me personally, I've always used it. It's always worked. It's always kept pest away from, since I have been using it, have kept pest away from my plants. So in a water bottle, add 2 tablespoons of neem oil, and then this is the brand that I like to use here. There are so many different others, but if you are going to get it, make sure that it's cold pressed neem oil, pure 100%, nothing else, because I know sometimes they can add other things into it and you just don't want that. I like to use Dr. Bronner's soap. It is an all natural soap that is wonderful to use. This is the particular brand that I like, and if you don't want to use Dr. Bronner's, you can always use Dawn dish soap here. This is the go-to for so many things. I love Dawn soap for almost anything in my house, any household chore that I'm doing, including plant maintenance. I love using Dawn dish soap. So you can add that and half a gallon of water into a spray bottle, and that is a natural pesticide for you right there. It is wonderful. It's going to keep your plants thriving, and it's not going to hurt them either. You can wipe down your leaves with neem oil only, or you can use your solution to kind of get into, if you have a really bad infestation, you can use the solution with all of your plants, and they should thrive. But if anyone has any other suggestions of what you like to use for your plants, please share with us, because there's so many ways. I've seen so many things on social media of people using different techniques, and I love to learn something new all the time. So please share that with us, because we want to keep our houseplants thriving and green and pretty without bugs. Number 6, grow lights. So in the beginning, I did not know anything about like grow lights and the importance of grow lights, but they are essential, especially if you are in an area that does not get sunlight. And for me, when I moved to Chicago, and the winters here are so brutal, and especially like for those who are in very unique areas where you don't get as much sunlight, or you have like really rainy seasons, grow lights are essential to keep your houseplants growing and making sure that they get the light that they need. Now, it is not natural sunlight, but it is so good for them to have some type of supplement of light when there's no sun around. Me personally, here in Chicago, winters can be so brutal, and so because of that, I have to rely on grow lights a lot of the times, especially between the months of like November and March, which is a huge gap of like not having consistent sun. Something I'm so used to before I moved here from Atlanta. It was something like I kind of missed, and I understood why, like, not only was it essential for like my plants to have light, but also for me, like, to have sunlight and have vitamin D, because it just changes the mood. It just changes everyone's mood, including mine. And so yes, your plants need that too. They need vitamin D, they need that sun. But if they can't have that in the interim, please don't forget grow lights. They are a wonderful tool to help your plants keep thriving. And so these are the ones that I like to use. I love the ones that are able to bend and kind of move if you need to, so you don't have to change your arrangement of plants. You can kind of just put the lights over or under or across it in any direction. You want something that can move, nothing that's too sedentary, because your plants are going to grow in different ways, and so you want to make sure that you're able to keep up with that. Also, I wanted to just kind of put some information in here that I thought was kind of cool about grow lights and the colors. So I didn't know if you all knew, but I wanted to share this with you because there are different settings on these grow lights. For the most common ones, you also see like the pink and the reds, and so I wanted to share with you what those colors mean. Starting off, let's talk about blue. The blue inside of the grow lights here, this particular setting. So this is really cool. Blue helps plants produce chlorophyll, which they need to grow. Blue light also encourages germination and root development in young plants and seedlings. Too much blue light can keep the plants short and dense. So there's a good balance in everything in life. So just keep that in mind when you are using blue lights when you're growing, especially if you're growing from like a seedling. Next, we have red, which is something that I commonly use, and that Red regulates plant growth and helps plants produce flowers and fruit. Red light is especially potent when combined with blue. However, too much red light can kill your plants. In the living room, I have some interchangeable lamps that I have in my lampshades, some bulbs that are inside of my lampshade. So at nighttime, I do like to turn it onto like a hue that's mixed with like blue and red, so my plants can kind of thrive off of that overnight while it's dark outside. So there is another here. I don't know if any of you all use green, but green helps maximize photosynthesis. And then last but not least, there is orange. Orange, similar to red light, but it is less effective. So let me know which colors you all like to use, and what process, or I guess what stage of your plant that you like to use it, because I think this is something that for me, this is new for me. I know some other people in the plant community may already know this. We don't need the smoke, please. But this is for those who do not. And so I just thought it was really cool to share with you all what the colors meant of those lights, and when to use them, because they're not always needed. And then, they're different phases. So yes, I just wanted to share that little snippet for you. Okay, I think we've made it to number 7 on the list. We are making our way through. Wow. Number 7, we have planters. It is so important to select the best planter for your plants and to make sure that there is proper drainage, because if not, your plants will die. I personally love keeping my plants in the planter that it comes in when I get it. I love to just transition to another one and I save them. So if one plant is outgrowing its planter, I will put it in one that I have saved from a larger plant that I've had in the past that I've also transferred. So it's kind of like this circulation of planters that just kind of goes around, but I do not throw mine away because I like to use them, especially making it easy for like watering and changing out the decorative planters that I do have in my house. I just simply stick it inside rather than just like actually putting soil and all the things inside the actual like decorative planter. I love just putting the planter inside of the decorative one, if that makes any sense. So yes, it's just something that I've learned that works for me. So if you all have anything that you like to use or do with your plants, please let us know in the comments below. That would be so helpful, because there's always some new ways of doing things. It's just so creative when it comes to planters. So if you have anything, please let us know. I want to hear what you have to say. Let's move on to number 8, which is potting soil and fertilizer. And there are so many things on the market right now for potting soil and different types of fertilizer, moisture control, fertilizer for orchids. You have different perlite, you have different types of bark. There's something for everyone. And I think that it's really important to study your plant first before purchasing any type of soil or fertilizer, because not all plants like the same thing. So I think it's important for you to do your research when you do get the plant, just not sticking it into what you have at the house, because you can literally kill your plant. But I think it's important to make sure that you're picking the right soil, the right fertilizer, and making sure that there is balance between the two, because if not, you will lose your plant. And we don't want that to happen. We want to keep our plants. We want to keep them thriving too. So please do your due diligence with your plants, because we want to make sure that when we do get plants, we're not just getting them for the sake of like just aesthetics, because I know it can be aesthetically pleasing to have certain things, but also like this plant was cut from like a growing farm to be sold. And so if it were up to me, I would love to have all plants for free, but that's just not the world that we live in. So just keeping it in mind that when you do purchase a plant, that there is a process in that. There's someone who's also overseeing that process, and having the respect for those individuals who oversee that process to get it to your doorstep, to get it into your house, into your planter, to look good, to feel good. So I say this to say, please do your research, make sure that you have the correct items, the correct products, tools that you need to keep and take care of that plant. And I do understand that sometimes we can't save everything. It just happens, and it's a lot of lessons learned with plants. But I do think that it's important to have some type of care and some type of responsibility when purchasing them, not just because you can and then in the next 2 weeks it dies. So please keep that in mind when you are shopping for products for your plants. So let's move on to the next item on the list, We are almost done. Wow. Moisture meters. Moisture meters, they're wonderful to have. I'm going to be very honest with you, I did not purchase my first moisture meter for my houseplants. It was almost like 2 years into my. Okay, I think this is a brand that I have found on Amazon that I love so much. It's a moisture meter. It's super simple. There is a key on the back to kind of help you understand how to read the moisture and for your plants. So definitely keep that in mind. Moisture meters help measure the pH in the plant's soil. So it does really well when it comes to like not only measuring the moisture in the plant soil, but also the pH levels, which play a huge role in its growth and the plant's overall health. So they do have some electronic ones. They have some that are just super simple to use. I think I bought mine for like less than $10 on Amazon, and you can find them at your local like Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Ace, like anywhere that sells plants. You should be able to find a moisture meter, but if not, just buy one online. I mean, it's just something that you do need because it can further help your plant's overall growth in its journey. So get it, use it, and please thank me later. Last but not least, this is something that I also bought very late in the game in my journey, but pruning shears. I love my pruning shears, and they have so many adorable pruning shears that you can use. The gardening community, they really did a number for these because I found so many cute designs out there. But yes, pruning shears here, these are perfect for pruning your plants. Pruning helps your growth of the plant. It also helps with like removing dead and like old leaves that are just no longer serving the plant any purpose. So please make sure you get rid of all of those dead brown, yellow, scrunched up leaves that are hanging off of your plants. In order to grow, you have to get rid of, some of your dead weight, I like to say. And so plants go through the same thing. We are very similar. You have to make sure you cut those things off in order to sustain and then also to keep growing. So yes, please prune your plants. It's super easy to do. I probably go through maybe once a month and just I'll go through and see what I can pick out. I used to pull things out, and sometimes I will if I don't have access to my pruning shears, I'll just like pull out the leaf, which I do not recommend. So don't do like me. Please use your shears. Do not do like me, please. But yes, these are the top 10 essentials that I came up with. I think that they're super helpful. But again, I am very eager to hear what you all have to think and what you all are using in your day-to-day with your plants. I think the importance of having these discussions in the plant community is to learn from each other, and then to make sure that our plants are thriving and they continue to stay thriving. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have learned something, and if you are not subscribed, please comment, subscribe, like. Did I say scribe? Did I say scribe or did I say subscribe? I'm not sure. I'm going to look at this when I edit this video. Please forgive me. This has been today has been really good, but I don't know why I can't talk. Like normally I can't stop talking, and I do really well with speaking, so I don't know. Anywho, please like, subscribe, comment, and put your notifications on for videos because they will be rolling out a little bit more frequently. I have finally figured out what and how I want to continue to provide content for you all, and so it makes me excited to bring it to you. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video and that you enjoy this channel. It is not always about plants, but this particular video is strictly about plants, and I'm just happy that you all are here, and I really do appreciate it. So if you are here and you are listening to it this right now, I appreciate you for sticking through and staying for almost 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of a video. Depends on how much I edit out, but we'll see. Okay, well, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and I will be back with another vlog for you all very soon. Bye.